Hey, what's going on? In today's episode, we are reviewing the new Ghost Roller J-cups from Rogue. They have made some changes to these, so I'm going to cover all the new changes and also compare them to Irwin's tried and true Roller J-cups. I've got an old set of Ghost J-cups we're going to compare these to, and I also have a secret feature that the Irwins have, so stay tuned. I'm going to tell you all about that. All right, so in front of me, I've got the Irwin Fitness Roller J-cups right here and the new Rogue manufactured Ghost Roller J-cups and the original Ghost Roller J-cups. These are in 5/8 pin. These are both in 1-inch rack size, so 3x3 by 1. And first thing I think we should cover is pricing. Now, obviously, Ghost is no longer around, so you cannot buy these unless you find a set used. But these original Ghost ones are pretty rare right now, and obviously you can't buy them from Ghost. You can buy the new version, however, from Rogue Fitness. And they've changed a couple things on this, and we're going to get into that in a little bit. But let's talk about pricing. So we'll talk about these ones right here. And this set right here is basically their entry-level set. It comes in the powder coat black, which is a matte finish black. It has the front return roller in the composite. And it also, this one in particular, has the powder-coated pin on the back. Now, you can do some upgrades on this, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, but let's just talk about pricing on this. So this one here, as configured, basically their cheapest option you can buy is $225 plus shipping and taxes. So what does that come to? To ship this out to California, pay taxes on it and everything else, it came to $271. And you'll see this in the B-roll as I'm talking about it. So that's shipped to my house for this set right here, $271. Now, honestly, that's actually pretty good. The original Ghost Roller J-cups were, for me, back in the day when I was pricing them out, were just under $400 shipped to my house. Now, where this can vary quite a bit, especially from Rogue now, is if you want to get custom colors, you want to get a stainless machined pin here, and also if you want to upgrade to the stainless roller, things add up very, very quickly. And for me, I don't think any of those options are worth the extra cost. It's quite a bit more, and I'll post some pictures of a couple configured with the higher pricing. For some reason, Rogue really increase the price when you start to go to the custom colors and that type of thing. Personally, I think the value is in this set right here. I mean, honestly, the pin being stainless or whatever machined, to me, it makes no difference. You're never going to see that. So that, to me, was not worth paying more money for. Composite roller is always my choice to go with on any roller J-cup. And quickly, we'll just talk about that. The reason is, and right here, here's an example of a steel roller. Now, the problem with going to a steel roller is, you can see the wear right there, is because this is so hard, this is going to dull your barbell knurling. For me, barbell knurling's the most important thing on your barbells. That's where we buy really high quality barbells. The last thing you want to do is wear the knurling down on your barbells. I don't see any reason to buy a steel roller. It makes no sense to me. What you want to buy instead is a composite roller like this one. Now here's a good example of why. So let's have a look at my set of Irwin Roller J-cups. Now I've had these in the gym for almost a year and have been throwing some really aggressive barbells at these things and really abusing them. And you can see, if we zoom in, the wear on that composite roller. You want this to wear. The whole point of this is to not wear your barbells out, but you want your composite roller to wear. There's nothing wrong with that wearing. It's supposed to wear. So I'll get years, maybe a lifetime out of these rollers. They're not going to wear out, but I'd rather have the roller wear out than my $500 barbell. So that's the reason I always suggest going composite over the steel. However, I will say these do look really badass. I think these look better, but that's a whole other thing. If looks are that important to you, maybe go this route. But when it comes to functionality, the composites work really, really well. So $271 shipped to my door, including taxes and everything, on the new Rogue Ghost. So let's talk about Irwin Fitness. Now, Irwin Fitness, their pricing has changed a little bit since last time I did a video on them. It has come up a little bit, and that's just due to inflation. Costs of materials are obviously on the rise, and shipping costs have gone up as well. So these guys right here, in today's dollars and what they're advertising right now on their website, come to $249, not including shipping. We'll talk about shipping in a second here. Now, when you go to Irwin's website, this is one of the number one questions I get all the time. It's confusing because Irwin Fitness is located up in Canada. Their pricing on the website is in Canadian and American. Now, you can go up to the top right corner of their website and click on USD pricing. It'll change all the pricing on the website to US dollars. However, when you go to check out and actually purchase these, it switches back to Canadian dollars. So I get a lot of DMs, people asking me, well, how much is it? Why is it so expensive? When you get to that final number, it's going to be in Canadian dollars. I know it's confusing. So these guys right here, shipped to my door, came to $398 in Canadian dollars. Okay, so this gets a little complicated. So we'll do a quick conversion on Google. $398 in Canuck dollars is roughly $290 US. So these are more expensive than the entry-level Rogue Ghosts by about $20, $30. One more point to add is I did all that math using my discount code that I have. So if you use MAC5, that gets you 5% off on the Irwin Roller J-cups. I don't make any money off the discount code. It's just something that by working with Irwin Fitness just to help promote their brand. So we covered pricing, $271 versus roughly, say, $290 US shipped. Okay, so now let's get into actual differences, and let's just focus on the new Ghost versus the old Ghosts. Now, these two here, right away, one thing I noticed is the quality of the UMHW is quite a bit better in the new version. And what I mean by that is you'll see it here in the video when we get the light just right. It's nice and smooth, it's very dark, and it's very, very shiny. Actually more of a matte finish, but it's, when you see, compare it to the other one, you'll see it's much more uniform. Okay, so that's the new version. Let's look at the originals. Here is the original UMHW, and it's hard to catch in that light, but I'll show you some pictures. It looks like it was cut with a chainsaw. It's very, very rough looking. Definitely not as smooth. So improvement there for sure to the new Rogues. The UMHW is a much better quality product. Okay, the obvious improvement, now this one stands out, is Rogue took a page off of Irwin Fitness. I know you heard it right. So now we could debate whether Irwin Fitness took a page off of Ghost originally, who knows, but this front piece here, which we're missing from the original Ghost, that was a big complaint of mine and my last review. Also, a lot of people did not like that it didn't have front UHMW protection. So, quickly show you, it came like this in a very nice glossy finish. Now, what happens is if your bar hit this, this would get marred up really quickly. These are in great shape. I borrowed these from a friend of mine, and you can tell these are almost like new condition. So they haven't been banged up, but you can see how that would happen. Rogue, in their wisdom, improved them. And what they did is added that UNHW to the front. And it's a huge improvement. I'm really happy to see that. And for me, that's awesome. So that is one of the big improvements right there. Now, one other thing I noticed is the depth of the UMHW. It's the same thickness overall, but you'll see where the fasteners are. The fasteners are sunken deeper into that, and I'm going to show you on the B-roll as I'm talking about it, compared to the newer version where the fastener sticks out a little bit more. Is that important? Not really, but if these were to wear down, you would hit your screw faster on the newer version. Honestly, I don't think it would ever happen. It's just something that I had noticed. So next thing I'm going to do is grab some Allen keys and let's take these things apart. Okay, so I've taken apart the original Ghost Roller J-cup and Rogue's new version. The rollers, someone asked me, are they going to be the same? And they are. Exact same rollers, same distance, same everything. So if you have an old set or a new set, you'll be able to interchange the rollers. The hardware itself, identical. So there's no change there. Overall construction of these is identical. Weld quality is, I would say, on par with each other. So to recap this, the biggest differences are Rogue's has a little bit nicer UNHW. It has more, say, color options, stainless steel options for the pin, and also has the option, well, here's another thing, is Rogue's also has the front UMHW protection. Can you add this to your existing set? I am going to go ahead and say no, you cannot. And here's the reason why. So let's look at this. So if you were to buy that from Rogue, you're not going to line up. They've moved this hole up probably about 1/4 of an inch. So do not buy these from Rogue and try to put them on your older set of roller J-cups from Ghost. So that covers that. Now, we'll talk about the rollers for a second. Which roller do I like better? Which one do you buy? Does it matter? So the Ghost have a front return roller. So the bar heads to the front, and there's kind of a couple advantages to that. It's good if you're setting up for maybe say bench. However, if you're setting up for say squats, you might want to have the bar pushed the other way and flip these around and go towards the backstop of the J-cup. Irwin offers a flat design, a neutral roller, or the self-centering style. I have self-centering style. I do like it. Honestly, I can adapt to either one, this, that, or flat. It doesn't bother me. What I do like about the self-centering one from Irwin is it puts the bar in the same spot every time. So it's just nice when you're racking the bar, it just sits in the same spot. However, when you're bracing yourself for a lift, you're either going to push it towards the back of the J-cup or towards the front, depending on what lift you're doing or what style lifting you're wanting to do. So does it matter? Maybe not, but I do like having the self-centering roller. So let's continue our comparison. The only two now that we're going to look at is, let's go between the Irwin Fitness Roller J-cup and we'll compare it to the new Rogue Roller J-cup. So I'm just going to take these apart, do some measurements for you, give you an idea of dimensionally what the differences are. So Irwin's here is just over 3 inches wide on this back plate versus Rogue's is going to be skinnier, and it comes in at 2 3/4 inches wide. So this is skinnier here, this portion. Now let's see how tall this is, and we're looking at about, I'm just going to go from the top to the very bottom of that, 9.5 inches from here to here, and that's measuring right to the bottom of the UNHW, 9.5. Now we'll go to Irwin's, and Irwin's is 9 inches. So now I'm just kind of curious myself what